The challenge is clear. Americans are losing connection with each other, and therefore our larger society is fragmenting in ever wider circles. That's bad for the individual human psyche, for social cohesion, and for political stability. Community and the sense of belonging resulting from participation in community is clearly the answer, but Americans are not choosing to join in the existing groups. Therefore, many of us are alone, bowling alone, dining alone, drinking alone, seeking truth and justice alone. After looking into the accumulating research, one is tempted to shout, well, just join something, everybody, come on. But join what? After all, we do know that people are maddening creatures, don't we? One incentive for joining a group of human beings is that the group has some purpose or outcome that we ourselves identify and agree with. But the complaints are true, aren't they? Many groups spend more time on planning potlucks or maintaining big buildings than on changing the world. Groups are also often spend most of their time demonstrating why they are not like other groups. Humanists join humanist groups. I do. Those groups, however, often disappoint because their chief focus appears to be finding ways not to be religious. Negative definition makes sense, but negative definition doesn't make for a long-term satisfying communal group to be a part of. For many of us, the question is, what are we going to hate this week? Well, that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to a lot of us as a way to glue things together. Humanists spend a lot of time not being religious. Unitarian Universalists spend a lot of time not being secular. Both groups spend a lot of time protesting, or I guess it's anti-testing rather than testing. Joining for negative reasons doesn't lead to positive effects. And community is what we need. I'm reminded of the old labor rights song from the Little Red Songbook. Remember that? From your college days, perhaps? The good old IWW songbook. A tune sung to the battle hymn of the Republic. They divide us by color. They divide us by tongue. They divide us men and women. They divide us old and young. But they'll tremble at our voices when they hear these verses sung, for the union makes us strong. Perhaps we are not prepared to join the IWW. However, most politically, socially, and religiously liberal people can sign on to those sentiments expressed in that song. It's the old saw about liberals building bridges rather than building walls. Bridge building is what liberals do. It's what makes us liberal. For liberals, dividing people based on old prejudices just is not acceptable. In Bowling Alone, Putnam talks a lot about two functions of community, bonding and bridging. Some groups bond over similarities, closing out differences. Humanists or Unitarian Universalists, well, we're not Christians anyway. Well, other groups bridge across obvious differences in order to reach deeper connections. Humanists, Unitarian Universalists, Christians, Muslims, etc., joining, to solve the homeless situation, for example. Sure, bonding over similarities is considerably easier than bridging over differences, which is why we must keep trying. That's why we're here at First Unitarian Society. That's what we're doing, bridging. That is, I believe, what we are called to do. Because if it's true we are alone, we are alone together.